All right, so it's Wednesday. Some of you guys know that Wednesdays we hang out. So hopefully we get some other folks in here, and we're off. There's someone live. Who is it? Say hi, please. All right. Wednesday, 9 p.m. This is becoming a thing. You're here, I'm here. I got to clear. Kirk, how are you this evening? Harry Nutsack. That is hilarious. Drew Garza. Ayo, it's actually two words. It's AYE and then YO. Ayo. But I clearly understood what that was. That's what's up. Big Reggie. Reggie, Reg in the house. Drew again. I understood exactly what that was. From Walter. Oh. Oh, alright. Cool, Kurt. Cool. Cool. So what's everybody doing this evening? Holy cow, there are 10 of you here in under 2 minutes. Goodness gracious. This might actually be working. Well, 9 of you now. One of you decided to... George, how are you this evening? Harry Nutsack. I don't have a problem saying Harry Nutsack. Wait, what are you gonna win? Because I said Harry Nutsack. Hola, Brent. Buenas noches. ¿Cómo estás? So, I did a thing today. Yeah. John, I am too. Welcome. Driving home about to prep some vittles. Yeah, man. Definitely fire up the grill. Man, watch your live videos, but hey, I understand. Houston Rocket. If you're in Houston and a Rockets fan, more power to you. I appreciate you coming through. If you want to watch the video later, you always can. There are 9 of you so far on the live stream. If you can, hit the thumbs up button for me, please. I greatly appreciate it. Cheers. Alright, so the worst thing about doing YouTube videos for me is the fact that I have gotten to the point. Benji, how are you this evening, sir? Thomas Linden, hello. The worst part is trying to keep a schedule. In order for me to keep a schedule, Boudin, Brett, are you Canadian? Boudin, is that Canadian or is that down in? Well, it sounds French to me, so that's why I'm thinking Canadian. But the hardest part for me is to keep a schedule. In order for me to keep a schedule, I have to edit or I have to Creole. Okay, I knew it sounded French. Texas, Louisiana. All right. Anyway, I try and keep a schedule. In order for me to keep a schedule, that means I have to film in advance. My videos are about a week to 2 weeks in advance right now. But I did a thing today, and I want to tell you about what I did, but I can't. But I will give you a sneak peek. It involved towing something with Vanna. That's all I'm gonna give you. I'm gonna sip on my tea. Anyway, so what's good with you guys tonight? Actually, I'll let you guys on a little secret. How many of you guys follow me on Instagram by a show of like, let's do like the number two. Leave a number two in the comment. How many of you guys follow me on Instagram? All right, Justin does. How are you this evening, sir? George, I know you do. Anyone else in the room follow me on Instagram? Oh, stop saying room. John, I know you follow me. Don't have one yet. Benji, what is your problem? Get on Instagram. Do it. Thomas, come on, guys. You gotta be following me on Instagram too. Cause here's a hint: the things that I cook on, or the things in the pictures that I so woo, Justin, cold, cold smoke and cheese. Woo, goodness. All right, Brett. Well, Chase and Smoke Cooks, I know you follow me on Instagram. Justin said you guys are slacking since you aren't following me. Chuck, how are you this evening, sir? Yes, indeed. I know you follow me. Uh, yeah, this is capture the visuals. Um, this isn't this is an adult sweet tea. How about that? But not excuse me, Luddite. Like as in um Amish type, Mennonite type. I don't know what a Luddite is actually. This is why. Ah, okay. Well, I just looked it up. A Luddite, for those of us who don't know what a Luddite is, a person opposed to increased industrialization or new technology. That's kind of oxymoronic. How can you be a Luddite and how can you be a Luddite? That's pretty awesome. I mean, I don't know. Get me to say Luddite. Am I saying it right? Luddite or Luddite? It's just like saying Harry Nutsack. Where you at, Harry Nutsack? Let your presence be known. Or did you just get me to say Harry Nutsack and then leave out so you can win the bet? I don't know. Don't care. Lou. Luddite. Alright. I am drinking just enough to get happy so I can go to sleep. That's all I'm drinking. I actually had a very long day today. It involved some driving. But the point I was trying to make about following me on Instagram is usually, yeah, this is a nightcap. That's for daggone sure. Usually, when I post pictures on Instagram, I am prefacing or I am alluding to what I'm actually cooking because my pictures on Instagram sometimes are a week to 2 weeks in advance of me posting a video on YouTube that goes into more explanation. Now, I do also, or have been also, posting pictures to directly correlate to a video on YouTube, but a lot of times, or more often than not, I post like a little hint or a clue as to what I'm doing or as to what I'm cooking. Taryn, how are you this evening, sir? Glad you could join us. But nonetheless, I did some amazing things today. First thing, I went and I picked up a thing. I did a thing. Second thing, I actually used the diverter plate in the big green egg and I cooked something low and slow. You're gonna have to wait. You're gonna have to wait for those videos. Anybody want to take any guesses as to what I cooked tonight on the big green egg? All right. Chuck says, question for the computer guy. He means me. In case you guys didn't know, I actually used to teach computer stuff. I used to teach A+, Net+, Linux+, and MCDST, which is like an entry-level Microsoft certification. Any tips on replacing a motherboard, CPU, and RAM without losing everything? So here's the thing, Chuck. if you have a desktop computer, and I'm guessing you have a desktop, you can. Uh, what I would suggest is making. Oh, you might not know how to do that. What I would suggest is creating a second partition on your hard drive and moving everything to another partition on a hard drive. Because then when you reboot everything, when you put all of that new stuff in, you're gonna have to. The operating system should actually detect a lot of those things, and it should pretty much pick up and tell you, hey, you need to download some new drivers or some new this or some new that. Or, which was probably going to be easier, is you get a hard drive enclosure or like a an external place for you to put that hard drive, and buy a hard drive as well as with your motherboard, processor, and RAM, and add a secondary hard drive to your computer. All right, so Thomas, I usually put more information. It's okay. Thomas asks, where do I put more info, on YouTube or on the gram? So on Instagram, I allude to a lot of things that I do in hopes that I can push you to my YouTube channel. On YouTube, because of the fact that the way I started my YouTube channel being pretty much not open and upfront, but if you notice on my Instagram page, more often than not, I don't post pictures of myself. On YouTube, that's not the case. Only people that I've seen successfully do cooking videos and other things like that are the barbecue backyard boys or backyard boys barbecue or something like that, where those guys always hiding their faces and tipping their hats and all of that stuff. Man, it's you're gonna be on video, be on video. Don't no need to hide your, tuck your tail and hide your hat. All right. Brett Stanley says, where can I find free or copyright free music to use on YouTube? So if you look in the description of my videos, there is 2 or 3 music sources cited. One of them is Black Soul on SoundCloud. Black Soul is actually my baby brother, and he lets me use his music for free. I had to rip it though, to get around SoundCloud, but nonetheless, he lets me use his music for free, and there's no copyright there. And then there's also a website. It's called Incomtech, or it's something along those lines. The guy's name, if you do a search on Google for copyright free music, it's like Incomputech or Inc. What like Incomtech. Incomtech. The guy's name is Kevin McLeod. Kevin McLeod, pretty much almost any and everybody has used Kevin McLeod music because he pretty much says, I don't care, use my music. Yeah. Ja Perry says, do I have any big events this coming summer? Ja, I've already done, which is crazy. When you say a big event, I actually got contacted earlier this week. One of you guys, or one of my Instagram followers, he hit me up and asked me could I handle like doing a big party for like 250, 300 people. Yes, I can. So that I don't have a specific date for that just yet. So yeah. Capture it visuals as how low. I had smoker. I had the grill hovering at between 260 and 275. It was at 275, and I eventually got it to creep down to 260. But it did take some time. Brisket, no. John Gruneau says dessert, no. Dessert or lamb is my low and slow guess. No, no lamb. Not on there. Though that is a good idea. So, Taryn, I have never built a reverse flow smoker. All of those smokers I have, I got from Kirk. I got them all from Kirk. You guys will know what that is in a little while. Uh, check his links. Yes. Ben Sound. All right, Ben Sound. Yeah, when I did a search just now on Google for copyright free music, and Ben Sound 1, 2, 3, 4 is the fourth one down, and the first one that's ad free. And then the one that I was talking about is the third one down that's ad free. Yep. And his name is, it's actually McLeod. It's MacLeod. Kevin MacMeod. Kirk, no bacon. Nope, I don't have anything in my eye. You guys will find out soon enough. Kirk Atkins says jerky? Nope, not yet. Terrence, oh no problem, Taryn. Benji, boom. High five, my friend. I did, in fact, cook some beef ribs tonight on the Big Green Egg. Now you gotta wait a couple weeks for the video. All right. Okay, so there's 17 of you on the stream. If you haven't already, please leave me a thumbs up. I'd greatly appreciate it. Mr. Evan Neal. Hey, buddy. Evan is a friend of mine. He's a car friend who just recently discovered my YouTube channel. I guess I don't promote it enough because he just found out about it. Evan, I'm not digging a hole in my yard. Dang it. No. I'd get a, what was that, China box? One of those boxes first before I put a hole in the ground. John, you'll have to wait for the video. Kirk says boo. Flanking beef ribs 2 weeks ago. Nice, Benji, nice. Uh-oh. John says, I am the first one tonight to donate to the Dash Clear Fund. Who wants to join me? Kaha China. Yep, the Chinese box. Yeah, so speaking of donation, if you guys leave a donation or make a donation during one of the live streams, this is what I do for you. I don't have any of my stickers right here because I have them sitting on my desk at work, and I didn't go to work today because I had to do something else. But what it is you make a donation of $5 or more, and I will send you out a sticker and a magnet, a refrigerator magnet with a calendar while supplies last for those calendars. I'm running low. I think I have less than 5 of them left. But the stickers, I have, I think, probably another good, there's about 10 of those left. And I'm going to be getting some more of those printed soon. But if you leave a donation, there's a link in the, well, actually, you can do like a super chat here. And if you do at least $5, I will go ahead and send you out a sticker. Corey Powell, hope you use the Cosmos cow cover or the Dirty Bird. I use cow cover and the hot cow cover. Very, very well played, sir. Corey asked, clear what? So this is a Delt sweet tea. There's a clear liquor in it. Greg Jones says, what up? How are you this evening, sir? You think Instagram cooks would be the thing in the future? People like the Trap Kitchen. People like you and Trap Kitchen inspire me. What are the sites you think you can use? So, Ja, where are you geographically? Did you say you live on the other side of Baltimore? Direct message about new cameras. I don't been. All right. So here's the thing, Greg. Greg says, I sent a direct message about the new cameras. I don't understand the venting systems. I didn't see your message. This is one of the reasons why if you haven't, or if you honestly enough, if you want to get in touch with me, look at the phone number in my Instagram, or on the about page, or on my website, because the direct messages via Instagram is the most, or the least most reliable source of means to communicate with me, especially if I'm not following you. Now, if we make a personal connection and I know who you are, as opposed to just someone who started following me, then I will get notifications. But other than that, it'll send me like one notification, and I have to stumble upon it basically, in order to get to your message. So if you have sent me a DM and I don't get back to you, it's not that I don't want to. It is just that I don't see the notifications. All right, so Chuck says Purple Planet. Purple hyphen Planet is another royalty free. Yep, that's the same thing, Chuck. They all have to do the same thing. So, Ja, one of the things about basically trapping via Instagram, they have they have seriously stopped doing as much, in the way, at least on my account, for my business. Whenever I mention anything is for sale, I don't get any sort of likes on the picture. I can post a picture of a slice of brisket and get 300 likes. Look back at my pictures. I post a picture saying I have a rack of ribs for sale, I'll get 50. So it doesn't work for me at all. All right, so Chuck, back to your conundrum here. Uh, it's like, I would love to be able to help you, but it might be, I don't know how else to tell you, but other than the best thing you can do is create a partition. And usually the way I set up all of my computers when I start, yeah. Speaking of tasted it, um, the pulled pork, the chicken, any feedback? I brisket, yeah. The beer, okay. Chuck, whenever I create, or I make a like rebuild a laptop or computer, I always make a partition to actually store my data, so that in case I lose my operating system, or I need to blow away my operating system, I don't lose any data. So here's another thing. If you want to actually try to save everything, then you might want to actually get an external hard drive, save any information to that external hard drive. You can get like a terabyte, 2 terabyte hard drive, for less than $100. Amazon, Best Buy, Micro Center, Fry's. I don't know what might be near you, but you can go on Amazon and get it delivered. Pretty much, well, you might not be able to get it same day, but you get a hard drive delivered. Sam's and Costco, even, you can go and get a hard drive. Save everything to that hard drive, and then you don't have to worry about losing anything. Just save everything. What is that? Is that all in, or ALLN barbecue? How are you this evening? No problem, Brett. Have a great evening, sir. Thanks for stopping by. And Brett, thank you. Oh, Chris, what's up, man? I feel like you fell off the face of the earth. We talked and everything, and then why I ain't here? I haven't. I guess you're busy working, holding down the stapler and the paper clips. Yep. So Evan is a fellow computer nerd, and I use that term nerd affectionately because I am one. If you got extra hard drives laying around and a spare computer, you could build a NAS, which is a network attached storage device. But external hard drives work well and are very simple. I actually have gone away, and Evan, this is more or less for you, because or anyone else who understands what I'm about to say. I used to have a media, well, it was a media server. It was a headless media server. There were 8 hard drives in it. There were 4 3 terabyte hard drives. There were 2 4 terabyte hard drives and a like 500 gig hard drive that had the operating system on it. And I had a motherboard that piggybacked off of a NAS or off of a RAID controller and had everything set up JBOD, right? My RAID controller took a shit the bed, and when you have become a digital hoarder like I was, there's nothing like losing more than 10 terabytes of data. I could cry just thinking about it again. There is nothing like losing more than 10. It was about 12 terabytes of data that I lost. And it was all TV shows, movies. Yeah, I mean, torrents are great things. But the good thing is, I did not lose any of my family videos. I did not lose any of my family pictures. And I did not lose any of my music. I still have a crap ton of music. I think my music library right now is like 6 7 terabytes. Yeah. All right. Well, that's what's up. Chris, man, definitely staying busy. Benji, if it probably should be Benji's Bad Boy Barbecue. What drives my computer? Mix the hard drives. All right. Well. So Evan, what's the FTP address? I'm just saying, All right, so Greg is asking. He says, "Can you give me a quick breakdown on the venting system for Cambros? Do I leave it open or closed for pulled pork or brisket?" I tell you what, the big Cambros I have do not have vents. The small Cambro I have does have a vent, and usually the only time I use that vent is when I'm trying to let it dry out. When I'm transmuting food when it's warm, I don't actually have any venting happening in that Cambro. Free NAS RAID, it was pretty safe, dude. I thought I was fine too. Like I said, Evan, I had the RAID controller piggybacking off of the motherboard because, like I said, there were no less than 7, maybe 8 hard drives in my tower, and of the 4 or 5 3 terabyte hard drives, only 2 were viable after, and this is partially my fault. I ended up using one of those external hard drive reader, and it fried 2 of the hard drives before I realized what it was doing. Yeah, so you live and you learn. But now I have it set up. I have my storage. I have 4 3 terabyte hard drives in a actual NAS, in a Western Digital NAS that I can access via online and everything. And I back my videos and everything up to that right there. So cool. Formula for doing 3 meats for a catering job. Cannot recall. Need a refresher. I'm doing a job for 60. All right. So Justin is asking. He says he's got a catering question. Can I review my formula for doing 3 meats for a catering job? I cannot recall and need a refresher for doing a job for 60. So here is my formula. Usually I start with this. I start with telling whoever it is that I recommend a half a pound per person, half a pound of meat per person, total, not half a pound of beef, half a pound of brisket, half a pound of chicken. Or excuse me, half a pound of brisket, pork, and chicken each. That's a pound and a half total. No, we want them to have a half a pound total, and then 25% overage for those people who just grab a little more or want to go back for seconds. Now, if you have 60 pounds, or excuse me, 60 people, I'm opening up a calculator. So we do 60 divided by 2, right? That's 30. We take 30 and we're going to multiply that by 1.25. That's going to give you 1.25%. 1.25 times 30 is 37.5. What I would do is round that number down to 36, okay? And then take 36 divided by 3 is going to give you 12 pounds of meat per 12 pounds of meat per. Now, what I usually always recommend is a beef, a chicken, and a pork. All right, the beef, or the beef for the people who don't eat pork, the chicken for people who don't eat pork and or beef, and people who eat pork are going to eat everything else. Excuse me. So now, this is where you say, what I recommend is that we just split it right down the middle. We can do, 12, 12, and 12. 12 pounds of brisket, 12 pounds of pork, and 12 pounds of chicken. When you do 12 pounds of brisket, you gotta remember that you have to cook twice as much of your yield, or twice as much as you want to yield. Same thing with your pork. Debatable. It's like 55, 60%. I'm telling you, just make it 50%, and then you might be able to have something to eat for yourself, like a quick lunch or something. With chicken, you're going to yield about 75% of your gross. So, if you need 12 pounds, you're going to have to cook probably like 18 or 19. All right? Hopefully that helps. All right, Scott, thank you, sir, for your donation. I saw that earlier today. Hopefully I can trace your address back, and I will send you a sticker. Plus, I don't know if you know, but you have the best name in the world. Well played. Well played. You said, Evan says, PayPal me for the FTP info. Benji says, my motto, you'll love my meat in your mouth. So, I don't know if you guys have probably seen this before, but I have a t-shirt that reads, once you put my meat in your mouth, you're going to want to swallow. And that shirt right there, dude, I can't tell you guys how much business I've gotten off of that shirt, because I wear it out and I wear it proud. And, you can see people like, how women are like, I saw him staring at my boobs. That's how this shirt gets people to read them. I can see people reading the shirt, and then I'm digging in my pocket as they're reading the shirt, because they're either going to, like have a quiz, like, what? And then that's when you just hand them a card and say, I do barbecue. And they're like, oh my, that right there, boom, had me going. All right. So it's one of those things. Yeah, I am back on. Definitely. A little late getting to the room. I got my sweet tea, man, and a little clear. That's all. Torgy. I meant to ask, what was that concoction? What exactly did you call that? Because if you guys haven't, or you know what, I'm Torgy and putting you on the spot. Torgy grilled some chicken, took some cheese and made this cheese sauce and put it all into a pan, and man, it looked pretty good. Like, that might be something my wife would actually eat. She's not a real big fan of pasta, but when you put sauce in it and you mix it all together and you turn it into a casserole, it was almost like a lasagna. But It looked pretty fire to me. Big Time or Big Tim. That's what's up. How are you this evening? Glad you can make it. Uh, Good evening to you too, sir. There's a family style. Yep. There's a family style. Well, Benji says there's a family style fried chicken restaurant by me. The back of their shirt says, "We choke our own chickens." Definitely. Just like uh, people who have shirts that say, like I rub my butts, or like I mean, it's a play on. I like pig butts, and I cannot lie. One of those type things. Or I rub my meat. So Evan, the only poultry I brine is turkeys for Thanksgiving. Okay, chicken Alfredo pasta. It looked pretty fire, man. I have never made Alfredo from scratch. I have come close. Like there was a time where I just wanted to make an Alfredo sauce, and I made the closest thing I had with what I had on hand at home, and it turned out pretty good. The wife and the kids liked it. That all that mattered. Robin Hoodlum. I wonder if you wear tight tights as well. How are you this evening? Ronnie, how are you this evening? So there are 22 of you on this live stream. If you haven't already, please hit that thumbs up for me. I'd greatly appreciate it. And then one last thing, if you haven't already, if you use that super chat function and donate $5 during one of these live streams, if there is an address connected to your information, I will send you out. Uh-oh. Maybe she got sent to bed. This is my littlest taste tester. She's crying. Uh-oh. Let's see. Nope, she went to her room. Good. But what I was saying was, if you send a donation of $5 or more, then I'll send you out a sticker. So some of you guys who have gotten stickers, what have you done with them so far? That's cool. What have you guys done with them? Larry. I know it's kind of early for you, buddy. It's only like what, 6:30 out there? Larry's on the West Coast. So English, Django. English. They're not teaching anything in school? Yeah? No problem, man. Dude, perfect. Dang on, man. It's so trippy. Goodness, here's one of them. This is the middle one. Good night. Good night. Zardrell, how are you this evening, sir?
Hi, Zardrell.
Good night. Go upstairs. Good night.
I'm getting water for mommy.
All right. Give me $5, Django. I'm chilling, man. We halfway there. No. I'll think about it, Django. I'll think about it. Dude, get the water and go ahead back upstairs.
Oh, she didn't. I wanted to come back here soon.
All right, go ahead back upstairs.
Can I have some of that?
No.
Okay.
Not tonight. Maybe tomorrow. Good night. No problem, Justin. Barbecue seminar. Oh. Nice. What, Justin, what Bass Pro Shop? Where? That's pretty much what I did. I made a sweet tea. You guys make sweet tea? Anybody make sweet tea? Fresh brew, sweet tea. Anybody? My grandmother. Yes. Evan, there are plenty of meats that don't do well in the smoker. Lean meats, especially venison. Uh, Not everyone. I grew up in Philadelphia, and yeah, aside from McDonald's, you couldn't find sweet tea, and it took McDonald's a long time to get sweet tea. I remember living in Maryland, and going to Pennsylvania looking for sweet tea, and they didn't have it. All right. So, Evan asked, "Is there any meat that does not do well in a smoker?" Very lean meat like deer, or I said venison. Uh, there's other cuts that are very very lean that do not do well being smoked. I think off the top of my head, like something else that you just would not want to smoke. There's certain things that can take well to being cooked slowly, and there are other things that you just have to cook hot and fast. Like you wouldn't want to smoke like a what is that? Like a flank steak or something like that. You wouldn't want to do that. It just wouldn't turn out right. All right. Everybody seems to be on the sweet tea. Never smoked pit beef. So here's the thing, and though I live in Baltimore, I still don't know what cut of beef pit beef comes from. Uh, so Super Johnny says venison wrapped in bacon works on a smoker. I don't eat pork. I don't eat bacon. So stuff wrapped in bacon. You know what I said this as an analogy to a car friend of mine who hates when people LS swap everything, and maybe there are a couple of you out there who will understand this. Putting bacon on everything is like putting an LS in everything. An LS and a T56, that's not necessary. Like you can't take a Mustang and put an LS in it. That's just sacrilege. Taking venison and wrapping it in bacon, again, sacrilege. All right. Nice. All right, so Thomas says on the grill tomorrow, a stuffed red snapper stuffed with dressing, a spicy dressing, creamed new potatoes, and green beans. All right, that's what's up. So Justin, all right. Justin says he's in Colorado. Justin, are you behind Mile High Taco? Is that you? That I don't know. Uh, boneless chicken. Oh, all right. So Larry says, what about boneless, skinless chicken breast? Always comes out a bit dry. If your boneless, skinless chicken breasts are coming out a bit dry, your temperature is too high, or you're cooking them too long. Because I do nothing but boneless, skinless breast and boneless, skinless thighs whenever I smoke any chicken. No more whole chickens for me. Oh yeah. Well, I mean, Scott. Yeah. Sweet D is everywhere in Texas. You'd be surprised. There's a lot of restaurants up here too. And again, I'm in Baltimore that have sweet and unsweet tea, but it is become that way recently. It uh, it was not like that for a very very long time. Chuck round, beef chuck round, well seasoned. Sweet tea is definitely a southern thing. Definitely. Yeah. Super Johnny says he puts an LS and a 4L80 and everything. 4L80 is a 5 speed or 4 speed. I guess it might probably a 4 speed. He's like, oh boy. Super Johnny, no, no. Larry, bad meaning bad or bad meaning good? Mm. Ronnie says, I smoked one of those packaged brine corned beef, but you couldn't taste the smoke. So Ronnie, it kind of depends on the type of wood that you used. If you use a very light wood, then you're not going to get a very heavy smoke flavor. Also, one of the things about one of those packaged corned beef is there's so much salt in there that that is going to pretty much overpower anything that you are going to have. Um, John asks, any insight on the new products that Porter and York is going to add? I have no insight. I would love for them. I don't know. I haven't been like they did actually repost one of the videos that I did. Um, it was the one about the herb butter when I made the herb butter, the standalone herb butter, because enough of you guys asked me about it, and I actually, when I made that video of the tenderloin, I cut that whole portion of me making the herb butter out, and I just kind of started. I showed you the start and then the end, and I think I showed you the ingredients, but not me actually making it, and I cut all of that out. But a lot of you guys had asked me questions about it, so I put that video together. Zardrell says, I found a salt lick recipe for pit beef. I didn't know pit beef they did. I didn't know Salt Lick did pit beef. I know Salt Lick is in Round Rock. Beef chuck round, yeah. Thomas Linden said, but it adds the fat it needs, bacon wrap deer. Natalie, hopefully I said that right. All right, okay. See? All right, here's the thing, Natalie. You come in the chat. I won't say beg, but you start asking for people to come and watch your videos. You don't do that. No. I have to cook the corned beef. Oh yeah. You speak kind of oak, Zardrell. I don't know, man. There's so many different variables. Like, what temperature did you cook it at? How long did you cook it? What temperature did you take it off at? Did you wrap it up? Did you season it, or what did you season it with? Yeah, all right, Larry. Again, I won't say I'm not a fan, but I am. Keep some things like all these cats that are taking Miatas and dropping LSs in them, and 240s and dropping LSs in them. I mean, I'd much rather see a 2J go into a 240, than an LS. But then again, I'm a diesel guy, so I want to see TDI swaps the world, the world over, definitely. Yeah, so Zardrell says definitely desalt the corned beef. See, Thomas Linden says he lived in Iowa and could not find sweet tea at all, just tea with lemon. Hmm. Oh, okay. What brand is my clear? The brand that comes in a gallon jug. Ronnie Jeffrey says use red oak on the corned beef, or it should have. Natalie, I'm fine. How are you this evening? I know, right? Natalie says, can I have beef or barbecue? Sure. Do you eat beef? Then you can have barbecue. I don't quite get that question. Pepper. Ah, see? You're trying to make pastrami. Or it sounds kind of like you're trying to make pastrami. Um, I don't. If you haven't seen that video where I failed at making pastrami, I'm not the best person to try to teach you how to make pastrami. Super Johnny says, dude, lay off the LS. Don't be jelly. No, man. I'm telling TDI everything. TDI everything. Forget LS everything. TDI everything. Diesel. You know what, man? If I could come and swap, I have a Dodge. You guys have seen that Dodge pickup truck I have in the background in my garage. It is a Dodge Dakota. If I can find a Cummins cheaply and be able to swap a Cummins into that Dodge Dakota, you can't tell me anything. That would, oh man, a 12 valve into the 12 valve with a P pump and mechanical P pump in that cup. What? Pfft, I'm a car guy. All right, John says he's got another question. Larry says wrapping bacon and venison that's as bad as bacon wrapped around a fillet. If I'm gonna have a filet mignon, I want to taste that beef. I totally agree. Thomas Linda says the only kind. See, this is the one problem about the chat. There's a delay, and sometimes if you guys want to be surprised what you can do with prepackaged corned beef. Okay, so here you go. Torgay says, okay. Torgay says if you have access to walnut, you'd be surprised what it would do to prepackaged corned beef. Zardrell says what he was trying to go for was similar to pastrami. Any desire to make my own hardwood charcoal, or is it just easier, cheaper to buy it in bags? So this is the second time I've been asked about making charcoal this week. I don't know how or why, but in order to make charcoal, from what I understand, you have to fire it but not burn it. Heat it up but not let it catch fire. I don't quite know how to set that whole thing up, but if I could take some of the wood that I buy, I don't know, man, because I've never weighed it, Evan. So that would be the thing. Because you figure I can get a 20-pound bag of lump charcoal for about $10 to $15, depending on the brand and where I am. I can get a whole cord of wood for 170. So I don't know what the weight would be afterward to see if it would even be worth it. But that's interesting. All right. Mr. DeVille, how are you this evening? Dude, here's what I love about the Cummins. You have all the same power, all the same torque, and 20% less stuff to break. Mathematically, duh. Super Johnny, I'm an idiot savant type, man, I know a little bit about a lot of different things. What? Posadas, I'm ignoring you. Oh, Scott, see? Dude, funny story about the Eco Diesel, the 1500 Eco Diesel. When the 1500 Eco Diesel came out, I went to my local Dodge dealership, which is Musselman Dodge. I thought it was Musselman, but it's Musselman Dodge. It's on Route 40, right at Ingleside and Route 40. I go into the dealership, and I sit down with this guy named Aaron. I'll never forget this guy's name because I have a brother named Aaron. So I sit down with Aaron and I tell him, I said, Aaron, now, mind you, I took my three kids in there, so I would have an excuse for him not to try to say, well, let's talk about this and talk about. No, 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 I can't do that. This is what I need. This is what I want you to do. I have my three kids. They're not going to last very long. Hurry up. That's what you do. You give them an ultimatum. You catch them off guard. You get them to mess up when you go into a dealership or you're going to be there for 3 or 4 hours. I hate dealerships. Nonetheless, I digress. So I tell the dude, I said, hey, Aaron, I went on to Dodge's website and I tried to configure a vehicle. Oh, what vehicle were you looking for? I said, I'm looking for a Ram 1500 Eco Diesel. Why would you want the Eco Diesel? Record scratch. What? Are you trying to talk me out of the more expensive vehicle than a regular daggone 5.7 Hemi? First mistake. So he said, why would you want the Eco Diesel? Because I do a lot of driving and I need the better fuel economy of the Eco Diesel as opposed to the 5.7 liter Hemi. But anyway, I said to him, I cannot configure it the way that I want. I want a crew cab long bed. I don't even need 4-wheel drive. I just want it to be Eco Diesel. He said, well, you can't get that configuration. Why not? He said, well, on the 1500, they won't give you a long bed. They have an overall wheelbase, and you can either get a crew cab short bed or a regular cab or extended cab long bed because that's the same wheelbase. And I'm like, okay, well, that makes sense. Thank you for explaining that. What other options do you have in the diesels? I'm a diesel guy, remember? I'm a diesel guy. So he starts telling me about this and telling me about that. We start looking at the Proline vans because, again, this is, excuse me, I'm thinking of it, future for my business, right? My man knows jack about squat about these vans. I'm like, why do I know more information about this than you? And all I've done is look on the website for 15 to 20 minutes. I hate people like that. I hate people like that. But he really was trying to talk me out of the Eco Diesel. He really was trying to talk me out of it. Anyway, sealed drum, let on fire around the drum. Okay, yes. So yeah, so that's what I was saying. Toward to the clearest kicking in. Torgy, um, to make charcoal, you heat the wood without actually setting it on fire. But I feel like I am doing double work when I do that. So I don't know, Evan. So that let's see, what is it? Natalie, I'm ignoring that person. Actually, you know what? I can kick him out of here. Don't be a jerk. I'll kick you out of the chat. What's the difference between venting, resting, and holding when you cook pulled pork or brisket? Do I take off the smoker and leave it tightly wrapped in foil, or butcher paper, put it in a Cambro? All right, so Greg, um, when I take meat off of the smoker, I vent it and let it rest. Holding is when you are going to have it at a specific temperature. Usually that temperature is 140 degrees or higher. That's a hold temperature. When you are using the Cambro, there is no it. You're just holding it. Whatever the temperature you put it into the Cambro, it's gonna stay at that temperature and then start to decrease and go down. Um, and I don't when I am resting and or venting or when I'm resting the meat, I vent it. I don't have it tightly wrapped because if it's tightly wrapped, then it's going to cook further. I do not use butcher paper and I vent with foil. So Greg is asking some very specific questions and so Greg is asking all about Camros. I need more information as to what you're trying to do or what exactly you're trying to understand. Because in most of my videos, I let whatever food that I have rest, slice it up, and then I will either reheat it or I will cool it depending on when and or how the event is. John, just ignore that person. Yes, every now and again I have my thinking cap on. Thank you, Slugger. John, really ignore that person. Memorial Day. Um, so Memorial Day, oddly enough, this year, uh, falls on my mom's birthday. I'm not doing anything for Memorial Day. I go fishing. I'm going fishing next Thursday. So I go fishing next Thursday afternoon, next Friday afternoon, and then all day Saturday I'll be with my father-in-law, and we will be cleaning fish. So if you guys haven't seen that video, there's a video we did. It's probably 2 years ago now, on how to clean fish or how to get fish ready uh, for grilling. But we'll be doing that all day Saturday, cleaning fish. Usually we have about 200 or 300 fish between the, I say two of us, but it's myself, my father-in-law, and one of my father-in-law's good friends, and we go fishing out off the coast of Cape Cod, and we come back loaded down with fish. Larry says, "What do I think of the new 6.7 Power Stroke?" Honestly enough, from what I understand, they've made some great improvements on the 6.7. Though I have a 6 liter and I'm having my own 6 liter troubles, and it's one of those things. I knew going into it that that I was gonna have some issues. I got that van for a steal for what it is, and like, it would be cool, like, if I could take the Power Stroke out of the van and put it into the Dodge. What? There are a lot of folks that are taking Cummins and putting them into OBS or original body style Fords. So, like, first gen Ford trucks. What? Cummins swap Ford? I'm with that. Cummins swap everything, but not LS swap. No. Oh yeah, John did just buy a 6.7. Yeah. Yep. So that's my whole thing. I actually, like, I've owned 4 diesels. First diesel I owned was the Mistress, which is my 2005 and a half Volkswagen Jetta TDI. That is what introduced me to Volkswagen and into diesels. Then I got it was a 2000 or 2001 Volkswagen Jetta TDI. It was a Mark IV. So it was a different generation. It was an older generation than my Mark V, the Mistress. And it had a blown turbo. I did not know what was wrong with it, and I ended up selling it to a coworker. I sold it to a coworker for $1,500. He put a $100 turbo in it, and he ran the snot out of that thing. That car, the older car, had less miles on it at the time when I bought it than the Mistress, actually. And he ran the snot out of it. Then he let his brother use it, and he ran the snot out of it. Yeah. And then my current TDI is a 2012 Volkswagen Passat. And I love my diesels, definitely. I just hit 100,000 miles in my Debbie, which is the Passat, and it has the DPF. But I actually want to get rid of that whole system now that I have 100,000 miles on it and I'm out of warranty. All right, so Super Johnny, we fish for porgies, blacks, and black sea bass primarily. Last year, I was pretty much going for the black sea bass. 2 years ago, there was a guy that was using a diamond jig, and he was catching some monster sea bass. So when I went last year, I said I need to find some of these diamond jigs, and I'm gonna hit them hard. And I like to fish off of the bow of the boat where I can cast, 180 degrees or even 360, depending on, or excuse me, basically 180 or 90, depending on if there are other people on the other side of the bow of the boat with me. But the diamond jigs, man, I was pulling up some. I'm trying to keep us in frame here. When I say I know for sure I caught the biggest black sea bass on a boat last year. Now last year I caught we caught plenty of porgies, which is the primary fish you're going to fish for. The secondary fish is going to be the black sea bass. Tertiary or thirdly, you're going to catch a lot of sea robins. Most people throw the sea robins back, but I had somebody tell me to try one, and I will cook sea robins from here on out. They taste great smoked, very clean, very meaty fish. You just got to get around the way that they look, and they're a difficult fish to cut the head off and to get the scales. The scales are very, very fine. Other than that, I've caught a tautog, a black tautog. That fish was phenomenal. The tautog is a fish that has teeth like humans. It has actually two sets of teeth. There's a set in the front and then a set of molars in the back because it eats rocks and crustaceans. I learned a lot of stuff about this fish after I caught it. And then I caught a bluefish last year. My father-in-law also caught a blue last year as well. But those are pretty much it. You can catch, like, there's been people who've caught flounder while we've been out there fishing, but those are like the primary, fish that you'll catch. Hopefully that helped. Skype. Cook this weekend. I really need some help. Greg, best thing I can tell you is look up my number and call me, man. Mm. No, so John, my 2005 and a half Jetta was not involved at all, but the 2012 Passat was. I did actually take it in to do the TDI fix. My engine is actually the second generation or Gen 2 because I have the diesel emission fluid bottle or AdBlue. So they did a software fix on my car and gave me a couple grand and were like, "Thank you, have a great day." The Passat was involved. The Jetta was not. The Jetta was too old. And actually, you know what's crazy? I bought the Passat 6 days before the cutoff for being able to be a claimant in that Volkswagen settlement suit. 6 days. When I say that was one of the best or the best investment I'd ever made as far as a vehicle purchase, I bought the car and then got a substantial amount of money back from it. Oh man, Porgy is great. Oh man, how I believe so. If you look on my Instagram page in my profile, it's like text, email, and location or something like that. Just call me. All right. If I can answer and talk, I will. If I can't, I apologize, but I'll try to get back to you. Or just send me a text message. If send me a text message and just say, hey, this is Greg. We spoke on Wednesday. I, would love some information, some help. I don't have a problem helping folks out at all. Yes, I do have a Weber Smoky Mountain. It is in the back of my garage. I do not actually use it, but I don't know. So you guys see the intro. In the intro, I was towing the Weber Smoky Mountain with my Jetta. All right, well, Natalie, thank you for subbing. Greatly appreciate it. Natalie, how old are you? How about that? But yes, the Jetta can be seen in the intro when I am rolling down the road. And you see the Weber Smoky Mountain on the back of the trailer. Natalie, isn't it past your bedtime? And why are you on YouTube? Thanks, Natalie. Spoken like a true father of a 10-year-old. Though that is not my 10-year-old. Better not be my 10-year-old. Super Johnny, how old are you, sir? Because when I was 10, yep, I do half and half, Isaiah, definitely. Ah, all right. So you're younger than I am. I told somebody today I'll be 38 this year. All right. Speaking of, when are you guys' birthdays? Anybody's birthdays coming up soon? My birthday's in October. I hate bed. Spoken like a true 10-year-old. Zardrell, 21 last week. Did you get drunk? All right, John, when in October? Golly, man. You got me by 20 years, Chuck. Gosh. Tour gang, 215.84. Seriously? Really? Anyway, Torgy, my brother, his birthday is February 22nd, 84. April 25th. John Knapp is 20. I just had a beer and chill. Nah. Really, John? So, John, you know what's crazy? Speaking of having things coming, no way! John, are you serious? Your birthday is October 15th? Guess when my birthday is? It's not the 15th. It's the 14th. And, I know there's a delay. But dude, seriously? Like, really? This is why I like you so much. Grill ribs and produce the same outcome. So you cannot grill ribs. If you grill ribs, you're doing it wrong. They need to be smoked. Dude, Thomas, one of my kids does. Golly, all of these October folks. Yes. Let's see. Thomas, when your kids creep on your page, all you can do is laugh. One of my kids does creep on my page, definitely, but the other one does not. And then, yeah. Yeah, you can't. Yes. Well, Kirk, you can kind of. Excuse me. You can kind of smoke on the charcoal grill. And I apologize, but you put the charcoal, just a small bit of charcoal, and then like I've done salmon on my big grill before indirectly, and it turns out just as if I did it in a smoker. Same thing with lamb. Send me a pic of the license. Oh, you don't need to send me a picture of the license. Yes, definitely. Go Libras. Go Libras. Yep. Can I find cords of pecan or cherry? Cherry, possibly. Pecan, probably not. Only place you're going to find pecan is further down south. What? Rob, my oldest son, Rob says his oldest son's birthday is October 14th. What year was he born, Rob? John says it was a cold January back then. So, you know what's crazy, right? And this is, here we go. My dad's birthday is February 4th, right? Now, I have a friend who was born September 15th. He told me that September 14th, because he's 1 month, not older, but his birthday is 1 month before mine. He said that September 14th is exactly 40 weeks from New Year's Eve. Okay? Think about that. All of you guys that are older than 10. Now, my dad's birthday is February 4th. Think about that. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway. Sorry when it was called away. Another way to get music for your videos is buying a subscription to TubeBuddy. It's a member perk. Alright. Zardrell says, I direct heat my ribs on low wet wood. You're gonna get bitter smoke on those ribs. Brother on the 6th, his son is on the 22nd, my daughter's on the 28th. Wow. Did you get Super Chat? I have Super Chat enabled, but Natalie, at 10 years old, you shouldn't have any money to be spending on a Super Chat. Super Johnny says, wet wood. I remember my first beer. In fact, look on my Instagram where I did my ribs direct heat. Okay. 2002. Whew. Goodness. Offset on the charcoal and put up a divider. That's pretty much it. A little water pan to create a like a diverter. Definitely. I take your word for it, Zardrell. Definitely. Excuse me. Interesting. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, same thing, Chuck. You shouldn't have money or debit or credit card to spend on Super Chat. For real. Well, Natalie, man, I appreciate the fact that you like the videos. If you comment on a couple videos, I promise you I will look back at your channel. I'm not promising I'll subscribe, but I will look back. Ask Torgi. I don't know why I want to say. He commented. He left a comment. I went back to his channel. I actually started watching his videos, and I'm gonna subscribe. First heartbreaking experience today. Barbecue didn't think was such thing as bad barbecue. What? What do you mean your first bad experience? How have you only had one bad experience? You must not go out very much to barbecue spots. When you start doing barbecue at home, almost every experience is a bad one. Use a water pan with beef ribs on a big grain egg. No, I did not, John. I did not. I did not use any water. I wanted to try and see what it would do without putting a water pan in there. I don't want to cook and do all that shenanigans in the direct heat. My ribs, pork shoulder, and chicken. Thomas, you are absolutely correct. Some kids do, in fact, have it made like that. George says, what am I talking about? I just got back home. I don't know. There's so many different conversations going on here. Sometimes I lose track myself. Hey, look, there's 17 of you guys here. If you haven't already, please leave me a thumbs up, and I'd greatly appreciate it. So John says, my thoughts on the white sauce for barbecue Alabama sauce. I am actually not opposed. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, John. I'm losing my stuff here. Uh, Torgi says, "You forgot I live in Iowa and in a small town. We don't have very many choices and barbecue joints. I ordered the brisket and it was more like overcooked roast beef that was dried out. So sad." Torgi, I have learned my lesson to never order brisket out. Never. Usually as a rule. And it's one of those things where I go someplace and I see brisket and I'm like, that dog from Up when he's like, squirrel, squirrel. That's me. I'm like, brisket? And then my wife just looks at me like, really? Okay, I guess I'm ordering something else. Plug your phone in, Natalie. I just cooking hamburgers and hot dogs and ribs. That's it, man. You know what? Cooking on the grill is cooking on the grill, man. I'm not faulting you for having to cook hot dogs and hamburgers. Ain't you seen my last couple of videos where I cook hot dogs and hamburgers? Man, I have another one coming up where I did another community event in the park just this past weekend. Rob, man, you have to find that happy medium. it it's a fine line. Alabama white sauce is good. John Knapp wants to know, Torgi, what town in Iowa? Yeah, that's what's up. Zardrell says, I either go to a friend's barbecue for brisket and support their business, and they support his. Well, Chuck says, I will only smoke a brisket on a special order for myself. Unless you live in a fast moving business, you're going to do more harm than good by selling old dried out meat. Chuck, to counter your point, and this is one of those things, being from Philadelphia, I know what a good cheesesteak is. And notice I did not say Philly cheesesteak. There is no such thing as a Philly cheesesteak. It is a cheesesteak or it is garbage. There is no in between. It's like off and on. Very binary. Okay. The problem is when people have bad cheesesteaks, they equate that to being good. The same thing can hold true for bad barbecue. When you start to do your own barbecue and you know what good barbecue is, when you go out and have bad barbecue, you know what's bad. But when you don't know what's good versus what's bad, you think it's good. Hopefully that makes sense. I feel like I just sound like Yoda there. Car. I'm like, car deals? What the hell are you? Ah. I am tired, man. I had a long day. I can't tell you guys what I did today. This is one of the hardest things. Doing the live, doing the live streams is, oh man, it's like I'm jumping between like the future because I know that I'm going to be sending these videos out, editing these videos for the future. And you guys are 2 weeks in the past. It's trippy. It's trippy. No. All right, so Evan says if you say wet wood will give you a bitter smoke, what if you soak some dry wood in sweet tea? So here's one thing, Evan. It is scientifically proven that soaking wood does absolutely nothing. Okay? Reason being, wood does not actually absorb the water. Um, If you take some wood chips and actually cut the wood chip or wood chunks, actually is a better experiment, because if you take a wood chunk, soak it in water, submerge it in water, it'll never get waterlogged unless you're soaking it for multiple years. That water will not penetrate very far into the wood. Yep, Natalie, come on back here. Same bat time, same bat channel. Natalia, I appreciate that. I like the breadsticks and the salad. Make sure I get extra hot peppers, please, and extra dressing. Nah. Um. So Chuck, if your brisket is drying out, you need to wrap it and or have it sitting in liquid. Usually, whenever I'm doing an event, I have brisket, and I won't say it's sitting out, but I make sure I have some au jus on top of it. Zordro, it definitely will hold the flame down uh, because it's green, so you're getting all those extra stuff. How about a sweet treat drip tray, water tray? I don't know, Evan. You coming up with some off the wall stuff here tonight. Seasoned wood, no smoke wood. Okay, well, I mean, so if you're grilling, all right. So I guess I'm understanding where you're coming from. If you're grilling with green wood because you're actually burning it up, I don't know though, because some of those extra, uh, not chemicals, but the things that are burning off the wood. It Rob, I watched a video where it was scientifically proven that water does nothing. Now, wood chips, yes. Lumps or chunks of wood, no. Wood chips are so small and thin that yes, it actually helps them, because if you take wet wood chips and throw them on a grill, they're going to slow the cook down because of course they gotta dry out before they burn up. But if you take regular wood chips and throw them on a grill, which is the only time you should be using wood chips anyway, is grilling, uh, you are going to they're gonna burn up. That's all part. I know, right, Larry? All right, Thomas. I'm like Tendon. Thomas Linden. Have a good evening, sir. Increase the radiant heat you need. I'm not. I get it. John, I love my garages too. Trust me. The wood itself creates convection. All right. Charles Rogers, how are you this evening? Eh. True. Dude, John, I guess you're traveling. Safe travels, my friend. Have a good evening. Thank you, as always, for watching and commenting on the videos. New video up tomorrow, 7 a.m. Eastern. 7 a.m. Eastern. New video tomorrow. So, there are 18 of you guys in this live stream. If you haven't already, please hit that thumbs up for me. I'd greatly appreciate it. I know I've talked to you guys before about the fact that if you donate $5 or more during the live stream in a super chat or period, I will send out a sticker to you. Nope. Never done a cheesesteak cook on my channel. You know why? Because I like to buy my cheesesteaks. Being from Philadelphia, I can make a cheesesteak. Give away what? I don't do a lot of sweet rubs. I like savory more than I like sweet. All right, I'll give you something. Um, how about a tip? Would you like a tip, Natalie? You ready for this tip? I'll wait. Super Johnny, I like the way you think. My go-to tip is usually don't smoke in bed. All right, Rob, have a great evening. I think I'm actually just about done too. Hour and a half is pretty good, and we are just about done. This is one of the slowest I've drank this. All right, there are 14 of you left. Two. Oh, yeah. Peace. All right, guys. Charles. So here's the thing. You didn't get here too late. You once the live stream is done, you can go back and you can watch it again. But I tend to try to go live on Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern. So you can figure out what time it is in your time zone. Also, if you haven't already, you can turn the notification bell on via YouTube so that when and or if I start a live stream, you'll be notified. So eventually, at some point, I'll figure out how to actually set a schedule or a reminder um, so that you'll know when these are coming up. But again, I've been pretty consistent. Like the last 4 or 5 weeks, I've done a live stream on Wednesday evenings uh, at 9 p.m. Eastern. So Larry asked a question about cheesesteaks, and so yes, I've cooked cheesesteaks at home, but it's nothing like nowhere near like what you get at a cheesesteak. I call them a cheesesteakery. All right, I know that's not actually a term, but I call them a cheesesteakery. What I've found, I apologize, it's been a long day. What I have found is going to the Asian market, you can find frozen, thinly sliced ribeye. Perfect. Perfect. Yes, I am. Charles, I spent, shoot, 5 hours driving today. I don't know what it is. Driving takes it out of you. Um, but nonetheless, I am tired, Charles. Definitely. And I get to sleep in tomorrow. I don't have to get up at 4:05. I can sleep in at 6:15. Which is why I do these live stream on Wednesday nights, because I can sleep in. But that does not negate the fact that I typically already have been up since 4 o'clock the morning before. I apologize. Larry, I was just digesting what you said. If something says that it's the best of something in the name of their moniker on the business, usually I personally don't I don't agree. Typically somebody or something that says it's the best is the best via word of mouth, not what you put on the marquee. All right. It is time for me to hit the hay. Thank you very much again, as always, for watching. I appreciate the time, guys. Oh, man. Mr. Vasquez. All right. One last time. There's 15 of you on the stream. If you haven't already, please leave me a thumbs up. I'd appreciate it. I know, man. Yeah, I'm about to be done. Larry, I completely understand and empathize. It is difficult to find a real cheesesteak in SoCal, just like it's hard for me to find tri-tip in Maryland. Man, I just can't afford to spend. Please stay. I want to watch. Man, I'm tired. Nothing personal. I gotta go to bed. Uh, but I can't seem to find tri-tip that's reasonably priced. I mean, you tell me, what do you guys pay for tri-tip? Cause tri-tip out here already. Tri-tip out here is like $5 a pound, and the smallest unit I can get is like 15 pounds. I can't afford that. Yes, Ronnie, definitely. Uh, Dance for us. Negative, Ghost Rider. Negative. It's cool, Joe. You know what? I was saying that it seems to be a thing where I come in here. What? Oh, well, I guess it is kind of not reasonably priced. I guess I'm paying something close to what it actually costs you guys. Um, hmm, that's interesting. All right, like one more minute and I'm gone. uh, Natalia is nothing personal. Yeah, I could get away with buying a three. Well, see, that's another thing too. I'm not buying one single, tri-tip or two single tri-tips. When I go to the restaurant depot and I found tri-tip, it was in a 15-pound bag and it was like six of them, eight of them, eight pieces of tri-tip in the bag, and I can't afford that. Uh, all right, you too. Wow, Kirk, that's kind of weird. Man, if I get out to SoCal, I've been out to California exactly one time. My work sent me out to Fresno. I got up in the middle of the night and drove down. Was it the 10 to? I was trying to get to LA. Never actually made it to LA. I made it to LA County and Burbank, and I hit a whole bunch of traffic. And then I went west on 10, I guess, and I drove. I drove the PCH. I drove Mulholland Drive. Uh, I drove Mulholland Drive. I drove Sunset Boulevard. But I went west, hit the Santa Monica Pier. Then when I hit the Santa Monica Pier, I saw that I was close to Mulholland Drive and the Sunset Boulevard and all those places that you hear in movies and things like that. And I drove it. Now, mind you, this was probably 6, 7 years ago when gas prices were like at all time highs, record highs. Our rental car was a crew cab long bed F-150. It was the best. Uh, it was the best because uh, I was filling it up with a company card, and when you have to boom put it in, and you hit $75, and then you gotta take it out and put it in again. That was my life. At the time, I actually drove a Ford Expedition, so I knew all about when the pump hit the limit, and you had to run a whole separate transaction, which is funny. But I drove from Fresno down to LA County, which is like a 4.5, 5 hour ride. And then on the way back, I had to get back by a certain time so that I could work because we were working at night. And when I say I was bouncing that truck off the rev limiter, it was me and a Subaru for like 50 miles going at it. We were doing like 90, 95 the entire time. And it was great. It was great. All right. I don't have a favorite holiday. All right. Anyway. All right, I am done. I'm going to bed for real this time. My tear and clear and tea is gone. Thank you guys so very much. Yep. This baby picture maybe, but no baby. Sorry. I have to go to bed. Thank you again as always for watching. I'll see y'all next time.